First this morning, today is the first day of tougher COVID-19 restrictions here in Illinois. State health officials say people have a choice to make right now. Hunker down now or risk dealing with another stay-at-home order later. The governor says regions can move out of Tier 3 restrictions, but there are a few numbers each region needs to hit first. Over the next 2 weeks, the Department of Public Health will track every healthcare region. If a region has a less than 12% positivity rate for 3 days in a row, more than 20% of ICU beds available for 3 consecutive days, and a declining number of people going to the hospital for 7 of the last 10 days, that region will then move into Tier 2. But if the region gets worse, a stay-at-home order may be put in place. In central Illinois, hitting those magic numbers will take a lot of work. Region 3 has a positivity rate of more than 17%, and Region 6 just climbed to 14.3%. Both regions have more than 20% of their ICU beds available, but more people are still going to the hospital for COVID-19. On top of those numbers, state health officials say 168 people died from the virus yesterday, marking the deadliest day since May. At least 11 people from central Illinois were included in that number. 8 of them came from Macon County, and the other 3 were from Champaign County. And as we move into Tier 3 restrictions, you're probably wondering what will be different on a day-to-day basis. Once you step outside your door, you'll notice a few things right off the bat.
First off, since the governor already put strict guidelines in place for bars and restaurants almost 3 weeks ago, Tier 3 doesn't change that experience much. But fitness centers and personal care services have been reduced to 25% capacity. You have to wear a mask at all times, and appointments are required. Also, gaming and casinos are closed. Outdoor activities can still happen, but at 25% capacity. Small retail stores and places like Walmart also have to operate at 25%. That jumps to 50% for grocery stores and pharmacies. If you want to meet with people in person, you should limit the number to 10 and avoid gatherings in your home with people who don't live with you. With all of these new restrictions, a lot of people are wondering how they're going to be enforced. WAND's Thomas Garvruck joins us now. Thomas, what are police planning to do?
Nikki, law enforcement in our coverage area are taking different approaches as some are opting to not crack down on mitigations, while others are trying to hold their community in line with the state's guidelines. In Taylorville, the police department released a statement regarding the Tier 3 mitigations saying, quote, "We as the police department do not have the ability to shut down any establishments that do not abide by the Tier 3 mitigations." The police department went on to say it's up to the Public Health Department and Liquor Commission to make decisions on closing. The police department added they do encourage the continued use of masks and social distancing. But in Springfield, their police department is taking a more active approach. We reported earlier this month that the police department had done over 300 checks on local businesses and restaurants to ensure they were following the city's orders. The expectation is that the police department will be making sure that businesses are not having indoor dining or staying open past that 11 p.m. curfew. Again, Tier 3 mitigations begin today, and for a full list of the new changes, visit our website, WANDTV.com. In the studio, Thomas Garvruck, WAND News.
Looking ahead, state health officials say even if you do get tested for COVID-19 before Thanksgiving, you should not go to those meals. We'll tell you why, plus how you can tell your family you won't make it for the holidays in our next half hour. But first, new COVID-19 restrictions are in place across Illinois, and state officials say if numbers don't drop in 2 weeks, we could face another stay-at-home order. But Illinois isn't the only place this is happening. The U.S. just reached another new single-day case record after more than 185,000 people tested positive. Deaths also crossed 250,000, and hospitalizations set a new record for the 9th day in a row.
With those numbers, both national and state health experts say a negative COVID-19 test isn't just a free pass for Thanksgiving fun. Usually the upcoming holiday calls for large gatherings, but as WAND's Tristan Hardy shows us, doing so this year could pose a serious risk.
Thanksgiving isn't going to be the same for Jay Chrisman.
We're kind of keep everything low key this year.
He won't get the satisfaction of making his own plate.
My grandma actually, she has a system to where people can drive up and she's already made them packages of food.
But that's okay. Mike Tomlinson isn't having a big family gathering either.
We've got about 6 people coming to the house.
Illinois health officials will tell you that's enough people in one place.
This Thanksgiving holiday has to be celebrated like none other.
Tier 3 mitigations start Friday, and you're asked to limit home gatherings. Stats show having more than a dozen in a private setting is risky.
We've got family that's kind of spread out anyway. So that's what our plans are for right now.
Let's say you had 15 people, including you, in the house. Most of the counties in regions 3 and 6 show more than a 50% chance of catching COVID-19. Dr. Ezike says she fears cases and hospitalizations will spike in the following weeks.
I don't want anyone to have to look back and say, if only we didn't have people over for Thanksgiving.
It's safe to say Thanksgiving will be different this year. Jay Chrisman suggests keeping the event small.
As long as you guys are reaching out and you contact those family members that you normally don't, that's all about Thanksgiving.
If you do plan on traveling this year for Thanksgiving, the CDC suggests you check travel restrictions ahead of time, as well as get a flu shot and keep extra supplies on you.
But if you decide to stay home this holiday season, here's how you can tell mom and dad you won't make it. First, let family members know as soon as possible. Explain that it is in both yours and their best interest to stay healthy this holiday season. If need be, use facts and statistics to back your decision. They may be disappointed or try to guilt trip you, but stick to your decision.
I would encourage people to simply make the decision as soon as possible, because it's the ambivalence it's the indecision, I think, that's causing the anxiety. Once the decision is made, the anxiety tends to dissipate.
Dr. Wentz says you should not cancel the holidays, simply postpone or modify your plans. Playing bingo, cooking together, and unwrapping gifts over Zoom are just a few ideas.